You weren't supposed to find silence terrifying. Yet, for most of us, a few minutes without a screen feels like a physical threat. While your ancestors used communal presence and physical effort to process the intrusive thoughts of the shadow self, you have likely traded that depth for a digital slot machine that harvests your attention every time you feel a hint of discomfort. Most people are currently living in a state of neurological debt, where the brain has been trained to expect non-stop dopamine from short-form content and constant digital stimulation. This digital chaos has quietly rewired our reward systems, making the shadow, those buried feelings of loneliness, stress, and uncertainty, something we no longer know how to face without reaching for a distraction. To reclaim your mind, you have to understand that your brain isn't broken. It is simply overloaded by a modern environment that overrides the natural energy management systems your ancestors used to survive. For thousands of years, the human brain evolved in an environment where rewards were slower, rarer, and connected to effort. Your ancestors hunted, built, learned, and solved problems through face-to-face interaction and physical movement. In that world, dopamine served its original purpose, driving motivation and anticipation for rewards that actually aided survival. Because these rewards required time and focus, the brain was naturally conditioned to tolerate empty space. Boredom wasn't an emergency. It was the bridge to creativity and deeper reflection. Contrast that with the modern digital landscape. Today, your brain can get infinite stimulation instantly. One swipe provides novelty. One notification gives social validation. One app provides variable rewards that keep you checking your phone like a slot machine in your pocket. This artificial dopamine overload changes your brain's reward threshold. Just as drinking soda every day makes a naturally sweet strawberry taste bland, constant digital stimulation makes ordinary life, reading, deep work, or quiet conversation feel boring or even painful. This creates a phenomenon known as attention fragmentation. When you half watch a video while half thinking about a task, your brain never fully engages. This leads to a massive switching cost that reduces mental efficiency and leaves you feeling mentally exhausted despite accomplishing nothing meaningful. This exhaustion is the price of the shadow self being ignored. We use the phone as a form of emotional regulation to avoid the buried mental noise of our own thoughts. When the stimulation stops, the nervous system rarely settles, making silence feel uncomfortable or threatening. Our ancestors didn't have the option to opt out of their thoughts through a screen. They managed the shadow self through communal rituals and consistent disciplined action. In the modern age, we must build our own rituals through environment design and identity shifts to stop this quiet shrinking of our attention spans. The first step in this modern ritual is lowering the noise and rebuilding boredom tolerance. Your brain needs empty space to process information deeply. Without it, your internal voice becomes muffled, and you become a consumer of inputs rather than a clear thinker. This requires an aggressive reduction in short-form content like reels and shorts, which train your brain for rapid attention switching and make longer tasks feel emotionally flat. By intentionally choosing moments of silence, walking without audio, or eating without a video, you begin to pay off your dopamine debt and allow your brain to settle. However, you cannot rely on willpower alone to change these habits. Willpower is an unreliable system that fluctuates based on your mood and energy. The smartest form of discipline is reducing the need for discipline through environment design. Your ancestors' environment was naturally high friction for distraction. Your modern environment must be intentionally designed to be the same. This means creating physical distance from triggers, keeping your phone out of the bedroom, deleting addictive apps, or turning your screen to grayscale to make it less visually stimulating. If a behavior is harder to perform, your energy-saving brain is less likely to choose it automatically. As you move through this process, you will likely encounter the 20-minute resistance, that physical itch to reach for a distraction when you start a hard task. This isn't a sign of failure, it is neuroadaptation. Your brain is adjusting to lower novelty exposure, and the discomfort is a signal that the rewiring process has begun. If you can stay with the task for just 20 minutes, your concentration improves and the restlessness begins to fade. You are training your focus like a muscle, strengthening the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-control and rational thinking. The ultimate goal of managing the shadow self in the digital age is an identity shift. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to scroll less," you must begin to see yourself as someone who protects their attention. Every time you resist a compulsive urge to check your phone, you collect evidence for this new identity, rebuilding the self-trust that is damaged by repeated self-betrayal. Confidence isn't built from big achievements. It is built from repeated small wins and keeping promises to yourself. When you restore your reward sensitivity, life starts to feel slower and fuller again. You begin to notice details more, conversations feel more present, and time perception changes because your brain is finally deeply encoding your experiences again. This isn't about living a joyless life. It's about regaining control so you can enjoy stimulation without becoming dependent on it. In a world designed to hijack your attention, the ability to sustain focus is becoming the rarest and most valuable skill you can own. Those who protect their attention will have a massive advantage, mentally, emotionally, and creatively, over the next decade. Your ancestors didn't have to fight a slot machine in their pocket, but they understood that a sharp, focused mind is built through daily patterns, not luck. Start today by reclaiming one small part of your day from the digital chaos. Pick one meal to eat in silence, or commit to 20 minutes of focused work without your phone. Your attention is the most valuable asset you own. It is the currency with which you build your life. Stop feeding the distraction and start training your brain for depth. If you're ready to stop the scroll and reclaim your focus, like this video and subscribe to Simple Ways of Life for more practical strategies on mastering your mind and building a better life.